On today's episode of The Back of the Bird, we sit down with arguably the best lacrosse player on the planet. Jeff Teat joins us, a repeat guest. Really happy to have him back. We chat about the year that he's had. A decent year for the Riptide last year. Turns that into the best season in the history of the PLL. Turns that into MVP of the World Games, and then turns that into becoming captain of the Black Bears. Should be a good one. Got lots of other good stuff as well, including some more PLL cards. Let's get right into it. Episode 126 of The Back of the Bird.
Take your first ride and run, baby, run. If you want a sign, this is it. You're mad, you're magic, you're as hot as a gun. You wanna play with fire, consider this. You'll chase the thrill if it's worth the hit, 'cause you never ever wanna work for it. Take your first ride and run, baby, run. You got a spine of steel and a roar of thunder. Yeah, you make me drown, yeah, you're pulling me under.
All right, we're back. Another episode. Another week went by where we left you guys waiting. We want to build a little suspense. That's kind of our new thing. But we're back, episode 126, Back of the Bird, presented by Cottage Springs. Get out there, try the gins. They're going to be buzzing around the LCBOs now, the gin sodas, I believe it is.
And Costco's, at the Costco's.
And at the Costco. I did see that they've got them there now too, which is huge. And you can buy a lot of drinks for a fairly cheap price there now, which is I remember back in the day you'd like, I don't know, Pauly, if you guys ever did this, but like in Montreal they had like the hexagon.
Get the hexagon, yeah, the 100 beers for like like $60 or something. I might be lying, but yeah.
But yeah, no, get out to try it. If you're going to Costco, maybe stop in. If you haven't tried them before, give it a try. If you have tried them before, get some more of them. But let's jump into it. Pauly, what's going on, buddy? How are you doing?
Doing good, buddy. Just just chilling. Had to miss this week's training camp. I was unfortunately working, can get out of work, so missed training camp. We had our fitness testing, so I sent the boys a little video that I sent you guys, just running in my fire gear like an asshole. But it was good. So yeah, man, looking forward to getting back this weekend playing Donnie. So was supposed to work this weekend, but couldn't let Donnie off the hook, so I got the old shift change, and now it's go time.
Oh, I love it. Donnie, what about you, buddy?
I think I'm going to be sick on Saturday, and no, I'm good. I just spent a week in the States, was at Vegas training camp week one, or our Vegas training camp, which was in Las Vegas for week one. And then we were in San Diego this past weekend. Both great experiences. Wanted to mention our new venue in Henderson, Lee's Family Forum, is really, really nice. And I think it's going to be a really cool experience for fans. And something that I think is really cool is like they seem like they're really good partners to the Desert Dogs, and we have our own locker room with all of our own branding, like permanent branding painted on the walls. It's kind of like its own section of the thing. The quote on the walls is from Tucker Williams, and it's lacrosse is my favorite sport. I wish I could play it every day. Listeners of the podcast know that's pretty much my whole fucking life MO. So it's I'm just really grateful for that, and it's just a really cool venue. It's not huge, but it feels very nice and professional, and the turf is really nice and looks dope in there. So. And then we're in San Diego this weekend. Their new practice facility is also really nice. So shout out to the Seals for a job well done there. Playing lacrosse outside is pretty cool at a high level. So that was, it was all around good experience, and looking forward to week 3 here. The game Pauly's talking about at the Meridian Center, they're selling tickets for it. St. Catharines Saturday night. If you can get there, check it out.
Love it. But same old here. We're rolling out of camp after our weekend 2, after having the previous one off, practice and a game, and legs are feeling it. We're getting to the old feeling has hit. So Pauly, I don't know how you do it, but ready to keep this thing trekking along. But we got a good interview this week. We sat down with the newly announced captain of the Ottawa Black Bears, or Blackbirds, as Donnie would like to call them.
that was so bad.
I
Black
think
Bears,
that's
back of the bird. Welcome back
Yeah.
to Back the Bird. Black.
it's
yeah.
a mix of animals, and there is such thing as a blackbird. So it's it's a good little chat with Jeff. Second time we've had him on. Obviously, last year has been pretty special for him, putting up 130 points in the NLL, putting up the most points in history in the PLL, winning the MVP of that league, winning the Worlds, winning the MVP of the Worlds. Yep.
Was there not? And obviously, I wasn't going to bring this up in their interview, but was there not like question marks about him going in the PLL, that he was not going to have success, like when he was going in? Like, weren't there like haters saying like he wouldn't be
not
good?
picking him first overall.
Yeah,
I remember that, and like it like not working or whatever, and then.
I think that was Pauly. I think it was more like the internet thing where like one person did it, and then like 100 people were like, "You're." Like he went first.
Okay.
I think most people. He was awesome right away too. I remember his rookie year. He was really good.
Well, I know he was awesome right away. I'm just trying to remember if like wasn't there like some people just like hating on him. That's all.
Crazy.
I never doubted him. Okay.
No.
That's
just like I never get my hair cut from my old barber.
Yeah.
I never doubted him either, except for when I picked Smitty to be MVP of the World Games.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. I mean, love you, Smitty, but I don't know what we were thinking there.
Yeah, Jeff needed to throw Smitty the ball more.
Yeah.
I did want to say something kind of crazy here. Stat guy Donnie here. Teeter is 100 by according to NLL stats is 106th all time in NLL scoring, and he's gonna be top 100 in like a few weeks into the season. Like that's absurd. He's been in the league for 4 years. So,
crazy.
Keep an eye on that.
Yeah, that is a fun little stat, Donnie. I guess
do you know what number I am?
Yeah, let me look for it here.
Okay, before you look it up, guess how many career goals I have. And disclaimer,
Do you know?
I don't know. So I'm also gonna guess. No, I don't know.
Okay,
I'm gonna say 8.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Is that way under?
The guy's been playing for 18 years.
Okay,
12. I would say you've probably. How many years have you played?
This is year 18, so 17 years.
I would say you probably have 30 goals.
I think 27. I think
8. He said 8.
I should kick my fucking
that
own ass.
5 in 1 year, dude.
It's 20. It is 27.
Oh, so Pauly knew. He just wanted to talk.
You
about
are
it.
358th, Pauly. Tied
Probably
with.
ahead of me.
No, actually,
Probably
sorry.
ahead of me.
You're tied for 354th.
With who?
Shane Simpson.
That's not fair. Anyone that I can catch.
Alex Simmons.
That's not good either. Jesus, that guy only played 1 year.
Peter Veltman.
Okay, I can pass Petey. Play with him. All-time beauty. Okay.
And Jesse Gamble.
Okay.
Yep,
I can maybe pass Jess and
let's see who's coming up.
Definitely
Let's see
pass
who's
Petey
coming up
because
here.
he's not playing. So
Yeah, that helps.
Jesse's still playing. So maybe
The
we'll
next,
have.
the next point up is Brad Darren, Dairon. Apologies for the pronunciation there, and Chris Flynn. I don't know if you know either of those guys, but
I know Brad Darren. He's a West Coast guy. Don't know
You
Chris Flynn.
You don't know the Flynn dog?
Flinner.
all-time fuck up by me there.
I mean, obviously you
That's
talked.
amazing. 8 goals.
Sorry, Pauly.
Yeah,
Sorry, Pauly.
that was fucked.
I did gas you up, Pauly. Fuck. I did gas. I didn't know you like 5 in a year was that's a lot.
Great year. That must have been the
I
year
did
you
gas
won.
you up, Pauly, for the lax bag. You're still the toughest guy in there.
Thanks, buddy.
Yep.
Do we want to do some PLL cards, Donnie?
Yeah, you want to kick it to Teeter and then we'll do them at the end?
Yeah, let's do that. I like that. I like that idea quite a bit. I'm not exactly prepared. But as always,
It's always
Brought
the
to
same
you by
place.
Brought to you by Lucky Penny Media. At Lucky Penny Media, we're a full-service marketing company without hefty agency pricing. We understand your brand is everything to you, and working together, it means everything to us. More than just a client, you're a partner and a teammate. Our philosophy is simple. You grow, I grow, we grow. So here he is, Jeff Teat.
This Brampton native is a repeat guest of the Back of the Bird and is coming off a heck of a year. After scoring 130 points for the then Riptide, he was named MVP of the PLL after scoring the most points ever in that league. He was then the MVP of the World Games, upsetting our pick Smitty, and now was most recently named the first captain of the Ottawa Blackbirds. Welcome back to Back of the Bird, Jeff Teat.
Do you just call them the Blackbirds?
Did I say Black Bears? Fuck. Welcome back to the Back of the Bird. Yeah.
Welcome to the Back of the Bear.
Thanks, boys. Good to be back.
This is good. This is good timing, man. Heck of a year. That's kind of wild. We'll go through all of it, but just based on maybe just kind of touch on kind of the last year in New York. I'm sure a little bit bittersweet leaving there and everything like that, but for you guys, I think probably building in a direction that you want to go as a team.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody that was a part of that team like loved being there. Like I loved being in New York. It was fairly easy travel. We were treated really well. The weather was the same as it is in Toronto. So everything was really. I mean, I loved it from my perspective. Other than not having a ton of fans, the fans that we did have were awesome. But I think that was probably the only downside from my perspective. Other than that, like we had a great team. We had a great medical staff. But other than that, but yeah, we'll move on, I guess. So.
How did you guys find out, Jeff, when it kind of last year? Obviously, it happened pretty early in the process, and what was that kind of like?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I feel like in the lacrosse world, everybody obviously talks and you hear rumors fairly easily and kind of gets around. But I mean, I was completely in the dark, and I'm pretty sure everybody else was as well. I think it came right before we played Toronto in Montreal, and I think it came like a week before that. It might have been like a Monday or Tuesday. It was a Zoom call, and yeah, it was just like we got a Zoom call tomorrow, and then they just the first thing that they said was that we're relocating, we're moving the team, and I think kind of caught everybody off guard. And then, like I said, it was kind of funny because at some point, like you think it gets out or somebody knows somebody in the lacrosse world that knows about it, but yeah, it was pretty tight.
The crazy thing about that too, which is funny, is like I thought that exhibition game was like a primer for you guys to move to Montreal. And then like Ottawa kind of came out of nowhere. I was like, okay, these guys are going to play Montreal. Like this is kind of like an intro to the New York to go into like this Laval. Because I've heard like that center's been on the radar. So I was like, oh, they're like these guys are going to Montreal. And then all of a sudden it's like Ottawa like kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah. I mean, the announcement came out of nowhere. Ottawa kind of came out of nowhere, and I'm pretty sure I don't know if it was on that Zoom call or maybe like a Zoom call later. Like the other options were like Nashville and Tampa.
Yeah, that's almost the kind of thing you're better off just not hearing.
Yeah.
We can't vote on this. There's no vote.
Yeah,
we didn't get a say.
Yeah, quick question: are we sure? But I mean, that was one thing I wanted to talk about too. Like, what would because I don't think we spoke to anyone after that game that played in that game. I don't remember, but that game that you played in Montreal, like, I mean, obviously leading up to it is pretty cool for you too. Like, you get to go to the Canadiens game, you get in your custom jersey that's smacked right up on your Instagram, first post in 3 years. He's buzzing. Talk to me a bit about that experience.
Yeah, that whole week was pretty fun. I think like other than the fact that like my bag didn't make it on the plane, and then I got there and I didn't speak French, and that was a little bit difficult. But yeah, it was fun. It was in the middle of winter though, so it was obviously freezing cold. but the venue was awesome. The turf was brand new. It's that square turf. That was always a question mark going in, but again, that was awesome. I think everything about it was a great, successful weekend. And then kind of like Pauly was saying, surprised that you know didn't kind of expand there this year. I don't know. Maybe it's down the line for
Yeah,
the
there was.
NLL.
I remember there was. I mean, during that time, there was rumors swirling of like another team possibly relocating there, but then said team just signed like a 5-year extension and staying where they are. So, I guess our sources on that one might be a bit off, but.
There also was a team. There was a team looking for a home this summer that notably did not find one. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. There's not a whole lot that we can trust right now in terms of what's going on.
No.
But it's probably because I'll hear like one thing and I'll just add a little bit of salt and pepper and then send it over to someone else, and it's like a game of telephone. By the end of it, it's something completely different. But
It is funny, Jeff, like what you said about the lack of rumors about Ottawa. Like after my experience this summer, that is like remarkable to keep something, and that's how you have to, I think, do it is like super small circle, and you just got to tell everyone when you make the decision, and yeah, like credit to everyone involved for making that happen because the rumors don't really help anybody, and it is really rare.
Yeah, and like I guess from like our perspective, it was like, man, this is stupid. This kind of sucks. But I mean, from a business perspective, there's probably not a great time to do it. It's
Right.
like the longer you wait, the more difficult it comes. Um, yeah, I mean, same with you guys. So like,
was
didn't hear
it
anything.
was it weird playing? Like, how many more home games did you have in New York after the news came out?
I'm not too sure. I want to say like this was like halfway through our season,
Yeah.
like maybe like 10 or
Yeah.
11 games.
So
I
I
was gonna
remember
ask that same thing because, like, kind of back to rumors and just being in this league a long time. Like, I've never seen the relocation in the middle of the season, even though you guys didn't relocate. Like, usually it's like, hey, we play the season, then like last game is like, yeah, we're going to Ottawa. So I thought that was like, I don't know how I felt about that. Like, yeah, it's kind of weird that you guys got to play out the season knowing you're leaving and like for the fans, but I don't know if it's like the right or wrong way. But usually it's always like season ends and it's like, yeah, no, we're getting out of here. Like never in the middle of the season.
Yeah, I think it was like we just played San Diego, and I think we might have won like I don't know 3 in a row or like 3 out of 4, something like that. And I'm pretty sure we beat San Diego, and it was like our best crowd of the like in all 3 years. Crowd. The kids are going nuts, and then it happened like probably 4 days later. But
And then the rest of the home games, you're just seeing a tumbleweed rolling through the stands.
memories there.
That's tough. I mean, but it kind of, moving off that, and we'll get more into kind of the upcoming season towards the end. But just touching on your summer, man, what did you feel different going in? Like, I mean, obviously there's, the year before, I think at least from a spectator perspective, it just didn't look like they were using you the right ways and things like that. Like, was there changes to the offense or anything like that moving into the summer with the Atlas?
I mean, I think a lot of it was just on me. Like I thought I was just in like a better mindset. I think for the summer, playing a lot of lacrosse, obviously, but I think I just like enjoyed it. Tried to say yes to kind of everything that comes with it. Take everything in stride. Had a lot of fun. I mean, granted, like our locker room, our guys in the locker room make it very easy to do so. Um, and that was one thing. And then I don't know. I think we did really well in the draft and in free agency. And then, yeah, I think we just had really good chemistry kind of clicking. And then obviously there's a personal side that goes into it of like, making adjustments and trying to find your way, around things. So I think it was a combination of everything. But yeah, it was a good summer. Wish kind of closed it out a little bit differently, but there's always next year.
I like it, man. Well, I mean, moving into kind of the next step of your off season from the NLL into Worlds. What was that like, kind of going there? I mean, seeing how many different countries were represented, seeing all the lacrosse happening all in one place. What was that like?
Yeah, I mean, I think I think representing your country, representing Canada never gets old. I don't think there's a time where you can take that for granted. So for me, I've actually like played with a decent amount of like the guys on the roster. I guess over the course of the year, so like I knew a lot of them fairly well. There's a couple that I hadn't played with before, so going into it, it was like. I mean, it's very easy. It's a lot of fun. Utica was actually great. I mean, it was probably about a 4 hour drive. We had a ton of fun. I think you just kind of make it fun with the guys that you have, kind of make your own, um, which is awesome. But yeah, and then obviously I think winning kind of helps, kind of close everything off, makes everything a little bit better. So, but yeah, I had a ton of fun and. Definitely my most memorable lacrosse experience to this day.
We just had Connor Curse on the last episode. He's talking about the Americans playing Catan. You're a big card guy yourself. What was the card? What was the game you guys were playing? Who was up? Who was down?
Yeah, we were definitely playing Schnarps a lot throughout the week.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. I think like everybody kind of there's like a lot of winners. Like everybody if somebody would get close, they'd lose towards the end, and then they'd win like the next day. Actually, I don't know if Jacko. I don't know if Shane Jackson won one. He was always
Okay, there you go.
but I don't think he won one, so it was kind of talking point. But definitely a lot of Schnarps.
You're a big euchre guy. Are you getting the euchre going too, or just Schnarps for the most part?
I do like euchre. With Sharps you can just have 10 people. You can have more people. So
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, euchre's
everybody
tough
was
that way. Yeah. I mean, four-man game. You got to get you have to have like a euchre tournament or something if you're gonna play euchre.
Yeah. Was there?
Paul, are you a card guy? You like to yeah.
Yeah, I'll play anything that involves money. I'll play.
Oh
Pretty
yeah.
much. Dude,
Or drinking.
well, okay, so I'll tell a quick story because we got Teeter on and because I play with your dad, but like my first introduction, I don't know if I've told this story, but like my first introduction of like cards was like playing with Brampton Senior as like a goalie, and like a third string goalie. So it'd be like the back of the bus would be like Terry Sanderson, Troy Cornley, Colin Doyle, Josh Anderson, your dad, Dan Teat, like bunch of guys like that love card and like not small money. And like, so I would get like, I was like, okay, it's like pretty cool. And you're seeing like the money exchange hands. And I was like, all right, like I literally have like $3 in my name, but I'm like, but if I get into this game and like win, then I'm great. And then like just get absolutely roasted. I had to get my brother to like pay off the debt. I was down like $400. And I was kind of like, well, like whatever. Like they're not really gonna want the money. Like my brother's like, yeah, dude, you gotta give them the money. I'm like, well, I don't have $400, so do you mind spot me? So that was a quick lesson learned. But yeah, that was like my first introduction of like Schnarps. They played Schnarps, Guts, hit the post, like anything. It was crazy. But yeah, since then I eventually got better. But yeah, I came in as just like an absolute noob and didn't know nothing and just got roasted.
That sounds like when we had you playing that horse race game, Pauly, when we were at my parents' house after the golf tournament.
Yeah,
Next thing you know, we got a 6'6" frame just wobble in the streets after getting.
yeah. That's also not fair because I spent the whole day drinking too. So.
Yeah, I don't catch up. But Jeff, a little bit about kind of like, for me, I'm curious on, it's kind of topical because we're in training camp and the bodies are hurting a bit. Like going through that process of playing all those games in like, what was that, like a 2-week span or 1 week span? Like how did that feel? What was the recovery stuff like for you guys?
Yeah, I think that's the one thing about like playing year round is that you're always kind of in game shape, which I personally like love. There's no like ramping up to like training camp after being off for like 4 months. I mean, obviously that comes with the other side of like, injuries, being sore, all that kind of stuff from playing. But I think that's that's one thing that I've kind of always enjoyed. So like leading up to that, like I was playing all summer and then had like a month off from NL to PLL, so which wasn't too long, and then kind of just continued that throughout all the way till the end of the world. But yeah, it's definitely kind of like a grueling. I guess was it 10 days? But I mean, at the same time, like I don't think we had one like full equipment per practice. Everything was like pretty structured, and I feel like a lot of those guys, if not everybody, takes care of their body pretty well, especially now, nowadays. So it's a lot of recovery in between, and then taking your I guess your shifts when you can in certain games. So, but at the end of the day, I think when you get to the end, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
Kind of
you're not after you're lifting that thing and throwing on a luchador mask. You're not really feeling. You're not feeling any pain.
Yeah, you're not too worried about it.
Well-
Dude, you played box and field worlds. Obviously, one of the differences in the box worlds is like so many guys we know there playing for other teams, other nations. I think your dad was coaching tons of guys we all know there. What was that kind of like seeing so many guys from Ontario kind of playing for different teams?
Yeah, it was awesome, and like the venue was all like there's three pads, and then like a main, I guess, stadium you could call it, and so everything was through that venue. So you saw kind of everybody, old coaches, old players, old teammates, stuff, people you grew up with, going there just to have fun. There's like so many people like trading gear. I think Rosie traded with every single country we have. But I think it's awesome. It's so much fun. And again, it was in Utica, which is pretty local for a lot of Ontario people, so they could probably make the trip pretty easily. But yeah, my dad coached Poland. I know Kraz coached Team Israel, so I think the Roch staff were involved in a team as well, I think.
Yeah,
So,
TK was Finland.
yeah,
Yeah, a lot of guys.
yeah, a lot of fun, and there's a lot of like high IQ lacrosse minds there too. Obviously, not coaching, not necessarily coaching Team Canada or US, but just kind of involved in everything. So, I mean, I loved it. It was awesome seeing some old friends as well. But yeah, it was a blast.
What about the I mean, you guys pull it off, man. I mean, pretty awesome ending to it. I know we watched that game, Donnie and I, but what was the celebration like? How are we feeling after that? It was just like rush of emotion kind of thing, and then into a conference room to hang with everybody.
Yeah, it was so I think we were the only team like at our hotel throughout the whole week. I think Israel might have been there. But like it was pretty large, and we like barely saw anybody. We weren't with like 10 other teams, so we were fairly like secluded, which is like nice.
That's kind of nice. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and like we had like our own like massive conference room, which was great. So kind of left everything in there for the week, and like after we literally just hung out in the hotel for the entire night and just kind of enjoyed each other's company. Definitely wish the women's team won. They were awesome regardless after, but no, I think that would have just kind of made everything kind of better, kind of full circle. But regardless, it was still a lot of fun. And then literally next morning, like get up there, leave, and then that's kind of it. Which is kind of the shitty part about that stuff, because like it's a big turnaround. Guys like had to work the next day and stuff. But I mean, it was fun.
That can't be. That's the stuff out of nightmares. Is like having a blast, and then for some reason, upstate New York, it's always raining. It's always gray. Your 4-hour drive straight into work. That's not the most fun thing in the world. But
We just had Colsey on the podcast a few weeks ago. He said he didn't even make it home. He had to stop at the en route there at the Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. It was great.
Donnie's got a question in these notes asking if you wrestled Randy Mearns this time around. So I don't know. Did he tell this story before, or is this just something you knew?
There's no real story. My brother was on the team for Field Worlds in Israel, and I saw a video at one point of Dieter wrestling Randy Mearns after the game. So I figured St. Bonnie's not that far. Maybe he was kicking around.
No, he actually that was actually brought up like multiple times, like if Mearnsey was going to show up or not. And I'd have to go around too, but no, he actually surprisingly didn't show up. It would have been great if he did, because I think everybody loves Mearnsey, especially on Team Canada. But yeah, that was a one-time thing.
Imagine
that
just
been
sting from the rafters, Pauly. He just
that's all I'm thinking about is Teatsy just throwing bags, having a good time, 5-6 beers deep, then just lights get dim, then Mearnsey kicks open the door.
By God, that's Randy Mearns music.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh man.
He's the best.
Well, I mean, moving into kind of this season and what's coming up. Obviously, pretty big announcement recently, getting named captain of the team, and I think some people from the outside would have kind of probably seen that coming just based on the person you are and the leader, and they say that if your best players are your best leaders, your team's going to go far. But for you, how does all that feel? What's the emotion being named captain of an NLL team?
Yeah, I mean it's awesome. It definitely, I don't know. I kind of feel like I've definitely said this before. I don't know if I said it on here last time, but like I feel like I've been around the NLL for a while, like watching, just like obviously like being a ball boy when I was younger, like watching my dad and even like watching majors, like and being around the rink all the time. Like I always felt like I was kind of a part of this league in some way. Um, and then obviously, now playing in it, and then, growing up watching all these, great players, great leaders, and then, fortunate enough to be able to wear the C, this year. Yeah, it's awesome. Kind of like a full circle moment. But I think the really like awesome thing is like, I mean, Lomi, like we have like a lot of great older like leader veterans on our team. So it's like, I'm not. Yeah, I definitely have a letter, but I don't have to like change much. Like Moose was a captain for I don't even know how many years in Philly. Like his leadership comes naturally. Johnny Laugh, Ocon, like all these guys. Brownie was an A and buff for a long time. So it's not necessarily like I'm leading like a bunch of younger guys. Like we have so many veterans and quality guys that just know the game really well, have a good feel. So I truly believe like it's a big group effort, and I'm relying on those guys just as much as it's reciprocal. So
No doubt, man. Sorry, I always got a fire truck. I just got smoked by a fire truck outside. But talk to us a little bit. I mean, obviously, like since the announcement of the team and stuff, I'm fairly certain like you've been there and done some appearances and things like that. Like, what's it been like? Because I think we talked about this offline, Pauly, Donnie, and I. Like, I don't really know how like the ownership structure works, because I was under the impression like Eric's still involved, but like Ann Lauer might be involved with the Senators as well. But like, what's the professionalism been like going in there and seeing everything and then getting to meet some of the fans?
yeah, I think the easiest way to explain it is like, I mean, this is the way it was explained to us. Um, and try to make the most sense of it is like everything stays the exact same except like the location, like our team, our staff, our ownership, like payroll, like everything pretty much stays the same, other than the location. I do think the Sens have like they have like a partnership. So like they don't own any part of it, but they do help with, I don't know, ticket sales, and we do stuff for them, like kind of I don't know if it's like handshake. I don't really know that too much into it, but it's not like we're running on their books or on their pages now. Like obviously GF Sports and Eric is still involved, but yeah, that's kind of the best way to describe it, I think. But that's we were there for training camp actually last weekend. So like the whole team got to go there. We had like obviously like medicals, physicals, like media, all that kind of stuff. But didn't get to see the arena. Hotel was nice. Didn't get to go into the city of Ottawa too much. It's I don't know how far it is. It's probably like 25 minutes, I think. Canada. Yeah. I don't know my geo. Obviously, get to know it better, but it, it seems like it's going to be awesome. We had like a little fan fest in between our practices. We had a bunch of people come out, take pictures. Like there's some games, which is awesome. Obviously, just talking to our staff and stuff. Like the opening night game seems very promising, which is exciting, and
Nice.
obviously kind of going in blindfolded to a certain extent, but everything seems awesome so far.
Well, it's cool too that you guys like TSN's really going in a Canadian direction this year. So you guys get, I think, 5 or 6 games on TSN, including that opening night, and the Rock rivalries are obviously kind of built in. It's got to be pretty cool to be playing in Canada now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think I've played everything other than junior, like outside. Obviously, went to school in the States. All right, PLLs in the States. Played in New York for 3 years. So yeah, it's nice to be on this side of the border for sure. Again, kind of growing up in that Canadian box cross background, and yeah, I think they're really trying to put forth like a Toronto Ottawa rivalry in lacrosse, which will be fun, which will be awesome. So
Yeah.
There's a nice little right beside the arena there. I think it's called Crazy Horse or something. The Crazy Horse Tavern. I've been there before. That's a nice little spot. They got when I was there. I think it was that was when my buddy's brother Corey Conacher was playing for the Senators, and we jumped over there after a playoff game. I was just like glued to him like a mosquito, trying to just like hang out with some cool people. But I think they had a mechanical bull, but they had to get rid of it because somebody was catastrophically injured. So I think it's
It's a good
probably
reason.
it's a good
you
thing
didn't get to
for
go on that.
I could already picture Kieran just getting tossed off that thing. So I think it's probably a good thing that's gone. But still, I mean, exciting nonetheless. I saw too. I think it was like just today or I saw somewhere they just put the new turf in. Are you guys doing the square one? Do you know?
Yeah, we're doing the square one.
Nice.
I feel
And
like the whole league's supposed to be start doing it.
is that right?
Well, it is apparently. I don't know. The only reason I know is because Selfer, when I was in Colorado, talked about it. So I guess it's like new company, and then like the auto or Montreal's the first team or first venue to do it, but it's like way easier to store. So you like lose
Yeah.
all the bumps and stuff. So it's way easier to store. Like it doesn't get deformed like rolling it. So it's supposed to be better like for longevity and stuff. So I don't know.
Teeter, what do you
Yeah,
think of the what do you think of the uniforms? It's pretty cool. Like Sundown was part of the creation. The color scheme is obviously pretty classic. They look pretty sick. Yeah, what are your kind of thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I love them. I think they look sweet. I think they kept the colors same as the Sens. Try to keep that kind of within the city, which is great. And then obviously Larson did a absolutely phenomenal job helping design those. So huge shout out to him. Big credit. But yeah, we have obviously a black and a white, and then I think we're doing like helmets too. So kind of getting the full look, which is nice. But yeah, from so far so good. They
Looks
look
like
great.
they're going with the Burlington Blaze colors. That's good. Paying a little homage. That's nice.
A little gold in there.
I mean, just from talk about kind of like from a team perspective, going into the season, like obviously, with kind of the expansion draft and then into a trade, you guys get Higgy as a goalie, and for the most part, I think bringing back a similar group at least. Like, how are you guys feeling rolling into this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think I think we're feeling good. Obviously, we had first 2 weeks of training camp. I think it's funny just kind of talking to a lot of guys, like not even on our team, but like with the expansion. I mean, every team just gets like better, like that much better, and like you kind of those, I don't know, maybe those bottom two spots just get so much more competitive, and maybe bump some guys in or out, kind of either way with depending on how many people you got from that expansion, but so much more competitive. And I mean, for us, I think again, new location, but I think a lot of the core principles stays the same. Still trying to build towards some stuff, but again, just preseason right now, trying to work through a lot of things. But yeah, love the group, especially the guys we have in the locker room is a lot of fun to be around.
Making those last two spots harder is a little bit of bullshit if you ask me. But what were you gonna say, Pauly?
No, I was gonna ask how you guys know how you're traveling to Ottawa this year?
So there's like a huge question mark because it's like,
you can train or you can fly. Like it's kind of little
or you can get on
both, right?
Or you can get on the bus.
drive, I guess.
Yeah, I think how we're gonna end up doing it is like if you're like east of Toronto, the train's like the best option. Like the train's awesome. We actually all took it to training camp just to test it out, and like being on the train is awesome. But nice. I think guys like west of Toronto are probably gonna fly. It kind of makes a little more sense. Sweet. Like Burlington, Hamilton area, just Toronto. So. Yeah, I think that'll some guys will probably drive, but I think that'll be the main. It's probably like half and half train, half fly.
Cool. Yeah. By the way, for people listening to this who aren't from the Toronto area, Ottawa's a couple hours east of here, and the airport's on the west side of the city. So that's basically the gist. It doesn't make sense for people to drive back. Just clarifying. I think most of our listeners probably are from here, but in case anyone doesn't know,
Ottawa's also not just a couple hours from here either, Donnie.
I think it's
a couple hours.
Well, not a 5-hour drive, roughly, right? 5 or 6.
Yeah.
But
a couple hours.
Okay, true. Yeah.
I'm sure Tommy down in Idaho, who's listening to this podcast, is now he's now happy with the explanation.
You're welcome, Tommy. Looking out for you, buddy.
Yeah. I guess Donnie's got it in the notes. I don't even know where we want to start on it, but maybe touch on a nice little weekend that we had down in Saratoga Springs for that wedding. What a group of beauties at Ocon's wedding.
Yeah, I mean that was. I think we definitely said it how awesome of a group that we had there. That was a ton of fun. Like the whole weekend, and like it doesn't surprise me. Ocon, one of the best, people I've ever met. Not just teammate on the lacrosse floor, but off the floor, and just him and Adrian is absolutely phenomenal too. And I think both families just like put on just like the ultimate weekend. Like it was from the start, right when we got there, like everything, like the venue was awesome, the people were awesome. Obviously, Saratoga is really nice, but it was a good weekend.
The wedding for Donnie and Pauly, like the wedding itself was in Albany, but like we were staying in Saratoga Springs, like the actual ceremony. So I drove like a car full of just lunatics to this for an hour, and Connor Kiernan would not. He didn't shut up all week. I wouldn't be surprised.
That's super surprising. That's so surprising.
It was. He was. And we just kept going back to the same lines again, over and over and over again, which was funny. But it was quite the experience. Like so many different. Like looking back on it, there's just like so many ridiculous memories. Like I'm on the stage with the damn cowbell. Like we're jumping around. Like it was. Yeah, it was good.
Why? Why do you do it in Saratoga? Like, is his old lady American or like? Because he's up in Toronto, is he not? Like, where is he residing now? They
live in like Port Perry now, but
okay.
But she's from there, like her family's from there, and like
okay.
Yeah, it was great. It was like my first experience of like the full run through of like a wedding ceremony that was that in depth. So that part was an interesting run through, and then you just like. Again, you catch eye contact with Ocon on the stage, and he's just like giggling away. Like it was good.
I think Borgs fell asleep.
It's an all-time move.
I think he's sleeping during the ceremony.
Borgs was asleep, and then Teeter and Dauber were wearing the same suit, and the person that I brought with me was like, "Are they together? Are they together?" So that was good. That was funny. But and let me tell you, if you guys ever need to add some grit to a lineup in the NLL, the bus driver that drove us home from the wedding, the way this woman was screaming at us to sit down and kept pulling the bus over to the side of the road and yelling at it, and everyone would be like, "Oh yeah," and then we just stand up again. It was mayhem, man. But yeah, again, one of those things. A great weekend until it ends, and then it's like you got to face that drive head on for 6 hours on the way home in the rain. It's not fun. But outside of that, like anything else you want to touch on, Donnie or Pauly, or you want to ask Teeter? I know we've had him on before, but if there's anything else we haven't talked about.
I was gonna ask about gear. I think the last time we had you on, we were already asking about jersey numbers, so we kind of covered that. But we've been asking guys recently, like, is there a super old piece of gear you wear? Is there anything kind of like unique that you have, or you like to kind of stay up to date with stuff?
I like to feel just super comfortable when I play. I'm trying to think anything that I need to wear. I wear I wear a Teagle underneath my gear. It's like for everybody that doesn't know, it's like your Cornell workout shirt. It's like a gray cotton. It's like hot. I don't really.
It's the opposite. It's the new shirts are supposed to like take sweat away, dry you out. Yeah, that one just takes the sweat and keeps it right there for you.
It's a medium, but it just says XXL on it, so Teeter rocks it around.
XL, it's be fine.
Isn't it fun? They actually stopped when we were in school. They stopped putting the size on them. And so a bunch of us had ones that still had the size on them, and those are the ones we kept. And now they went back to it. So I don't know. Someone complained, and the boys now, I think, when I look on Instagram, they got the sizes back on there. So I got a double XL one time, and that was like a prized possession. I was like, this thing is sick.
I think I don't know if it was last year or the year before last year. I might have posted a picture like me wearing a Teagle, or somebody did, and like I think it was Max, like Coach Max Tennant at Cornell, like says like text me like, what's your address? And I sent him my address, and like a box full of like Teagles like showed up at my door like the next week. I was like,
nice.
That's sick. That's unreal. That's wicked.
I got John Piatelli from the Firewolves. We played them my rookie year, and this was back in the old conference. Not the old, but this was when we were playing conferences. So we played Albany that year. So we took a picture in our Teagles before the game because I was like, dude, we're never gonna like get to play each other again. Like, it's conferences. The next year we go to no more conferences. We play each other every year. Like, didn't need to do it at all. I think we both got fined for it, but that's okay.
Yeah. That's great. And I saw you've switched now too, right? Because you were full year round using the teal head. Now are you breaking out like the yellow dog now, or whatever color you want to call it?
Well, it was blue. The first one was blue. It was baby blue. Yeah.
Baby blue. Yeah. Sorry, same thing.
But yeah, I got that like I don't know. I don't know the exact it's like gold.
Yeah.
It's like gold, but it's not really gold. But it's the same head.
Do you change the way you string your stick for box and field, or is it the exact same?
No, it's the exact same. It's the exact same stick. Head to toe. I changed the shaft, like a little heavier shaft in indoor, but the string job is the exact same in both indoor and outdoor.
I wouldn't have even known a difference, but I just figured out some string kid out there is going to want to know that question.
Sorry. Pauly, go for it, Pauly. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. Pauly looked like he had something.
No, I was just gonna say they're doing the gold head for the leading scorer of the league, the European League. So that's why Peter's got it. He starts with it, and then we'll see after the first week. But they're doing the teal head for leading goal scorer.
Man, they should. That is something they should do: is bring the gold bucket out for like the leading scorer on each team.
Yeah, because then that guy won't have a head at the end of the game. So
that'll be Pauly. It'll be like a bull seeing red for Pauly.
Not me. I'm just jealous I would never get to wear one ever in my life.
Well, hey, Pauly, you got a mention on the LaxMag survey there. You still got it.
For what? Most
toughest guy in the league. You're still getting votes.
Yeah.
I think we need to start implementing like a guy to go bald the fastest, or like some sort of.
Oh no!
some sort of award that's achievable here.
Should we put him on the back of the bird survey?
I think we should. Best locker room DJ. There's 3 options, and it just says my name for each one. No one else is even allowed to be in the run.
Does it say your name for the bald question too, or there are options for that one?
No, there'll be options for that one. I don't necessarily want to win that one, but I will.
Yeah.
Are you locker room DJ, Lomi?
Oh yeah, I came in and basically just took it, and then it was like I clung to that as like the reason they had to keep me around. Like, 'cause then it's like
You did the
it's
Dion
almost
Phaneuf.
awkward. Like you can't fire me. I quit. Like I'm gonna keep showing up. Like regardless, I'll just be there. I was gonna ask, so you're coaching right now, right? Are you doing any is it travel stuff for the Hill, or is it all like just practicing right now?
Look, we have we actually have like 2 more weeks left of our fall ball. We have it's a lot of practicing in the fall, and then we'll have like 2 recruiting tournaments. One was 2 weekends ago, and then the next one is in 2 weekends. So, and that'll kind of close it out, and then obviously spring season in the spring. But pretty much, a lot of fall ball, very similar to like a college fall ball. A lot of practices, like 3 days a week. A lot of individual, skill work, and then 2 recruiting tournaments, but pretty light otherwise.
And the new campus is good?
What are you the head coach now of the varsity team, or what's your position at the Hill now?
Yeah, so I mean, I don't teach there. I'm just a coach.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I fortunately coach all the teams, and
Okay.
so I get to see all the kids. But yeah, head coach of like our 9, 10, 11 team, and then I help out with our 12 PG team.
Okay. Nice. Okay. Sweet.
See everybody.
Unreal.
Awesome, man.
Well, I think I don't have anything else, man. But congrats again on a heck of a year here, and being named captain most recently, well deserved, and good luck. Except for this weekend, nothing crazy idea, because we're gonna be seeing you in that beautiful, huge arena in Brampton. But yeah, appreciate you sitting down with us, man.
Thanks. Don't shoot a ball at me this weekend.
Yeah. I think we talked about that last time when I shot a ball at Teeter when he was 16 years old, but he shouldn't have been standing there. I love it. Awesome, man.
Yeah. All right, thanks boys.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, Teats.
All right, what an interview with TT. Good to sit down with him and talk about kind of the last year and a bit of lacrosse, and just kind of get some insight into what goes on in arguably the best player in the world's life. So outside of that, man, obviously lacrosse wise, there's more preseason coming, and there's going to be a lot more roster moves and things like that and shifting going on. So it'll be interesting for everyone to kind of keep track of where guys are, where they end up, what's happening around the league. So keep an eye out for that. If you can, get out to Oakville, Brampton, Six Nations, or the Meridian Center, and try and go watch a game. Most of those arenas, I think it's just like you got to bring a non-perishable food item, and you can watch the game. So you bring a can of tuna, you just toss it in there. We made a little joke with Brad that I guess old Kenny Gillies came and watched our game in Six Nations, and Mrs. Gillies gave him a can of tuna, and he's like, "What are you doing giving me the tuna? This is the good stuff." So I was making jokes that he was going to be sitting in the parking lot eating the can of tuna and then just buzzing into the game and sprinting by the front door. But yeah, if you want to go catch a game, go do it. It's good lacrosse, and help support the boys.
Speaking of Gillies, shout out to
Shawnee,
the eloping to Scotland. Hell of a move, and just full garb. It actually looked unreal, man. They're like in like the mountains somewhere. So shout out to Shawnee, man. Tying the knot. Good for him. Yeah,
he's Shawnee got married, so it's pretty cool. And it was a pretty cool little setting. It looked like all those pictures looked awesome.
Yeah.
Just in the middle of nowhere, and what I assume is like Scotland or something. I don't know exactly.
Yeah,
where
they
it
were
was.
Scotland. Yeah, somewhere.
But yeah, it looked pretty good, and I was chirping Brad a little bit. I'm sure the undercarriage was a little bit cold. Looked like a windy day. He'd be wearing a kilt, but Yeah, nonetheless, shout out to the infamous Gill Dog we've mentioned quite a few times on this podcast before. But Donnie, we want to jump into some cards.
Yeah, speaking of infamous guys, we mentioned plenty before. Creppy, keep an eye on the mail. Keep an eye
Yeah.
on the mail. It's coming.
That was so funny that he said you said to keep a lookout for 2024, and now that company is bankrupted.
All right, here we go. As a reminder, 8 is normal, 9 is special. We've had 9 every time. We have 9 again. No, 8 this time. Sorry, bad counting. All right, here we go. NLL fans will know him very well. Zed Williams.
There you go. Zedsy.
Zeddy Beast. Zed Beast. Zedzilla.
Former Buffalo Bill.
This one's gonna test the nickname here. Ajax Zapatello.
I think Ajax is you just go with Ajax.
Jack.
6 to start, right?
Yeah, dude. What a handle, Ajax. That sounds like a 007 agent.
That guy was born to make adult films for a living.
Yeah.
Ajax Zapatello? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Fun story about Ajax, by the way, is my college teammate at Maryland. His dad, they're from Oregon. They would come out to the East Coast for the whole season. And his dad would bring an RV to all of our Maryland games, and they did quite well for himself. This is like an A-list celebrity RV. It's like the sickest RV you've ever seen in your life.
Wow.
And they would just park it at all the Maryland tailgates. It was a lot of fun. So shout out to the Zapatello family. Great people. Ben Randall, Water Dogs.
Randy,
Benny. Michael Rexroad, Rutgers guy, teammate of Teeters on the Atlas. Speaking of Teeters teammates on the Atlas, Xander Dixon.
Wrench.
My buddy, Jeff Trainer, one of the best dudes in the sport of lacrosse. Love that guy. Troy Ray. Razor. Probably Razor, I guess.
Razor.
And our buddy, back of the Birdcast, Thomas McConnell.
T-Mac. Nice.
What a beauty. I might have to get this autograph for me, Loma.
That's so I don't know if I told this story on the podcast before, but I mean the way that guy would show up to games, we started calling him Kramer with the way his hair sits. And then going into the week that we played Donnie in Fort Worth, T-Mac put up a 6 spot, and we started. He got a haircut leading into that, so we started calling him Sexy Kramer. So now we just call him Big Sexy or Gigantic Intercourse. So his nicknames has evolved over time.
Hey, speaking of doing their hair, Smitty.
Not a good hair guy or what?
No, I saw him. You guys were doing the media. Maybe it was the NLL media day. Didn't do his hair. Like, come on, Smitty. I was all over him.
That's amazing.
Just look like a slob. So
I've done that. I did that one
Smitty
too many
for that.
times. I finally this year shaved on media day because
Nice.
I've had the 4-day neck beard every year of my pro career, and it's like, all right, enough's enough.
I just realized it right now for some reason. Donnie, do you have an Under Armour mock neck on right now?
No, it's just a golf.
Oh,
golf shirt.
I thought you look like you're ready to coach an NFL game in the cold.
I got the Tiger Woods mock neck on.
I like that. But yeah, nice little card draw. Not as good as our other ones though.
Yeah, we got 2 more. So we'll keep it going. This has been good little recurring series here.
Do you guys have anything else you want to touch on before? I mean, again, I know lacrosse is moving a little bit slow right now, just leading into the season where we got camp firing and everything like that.
I got one more thing. Hopefully have some more gear talk coming up soon. Maybe have something exciting on that front. But shout out again to my boy Snoof. Did my stick when I was out in Coquitlam. Lacrosse experts in Coquitlam. Go check it out. Snoof is the best in the business. Really cool store. I actually got to go there during the Minto. Shout out Snoof. You're a beauty. Thank you. And if you're in the BC area, go check out Lacrosse Experts in Coquitlam.
He did mine too. Just shipped them over to me. So if you want some great, nicely strung sticks that will help you miss the net, that's the batch I got. I think Donnie got a different batch, but
I get the underhand low to low batch like you got.
No. I don't. You didn't. Mine could have come without mesh, the pick stick. But it's yeah, great little shop. Everything he's running over there. So if you want your
Yeah.
sticks strung up well, hit them up. But I think that pretty much does it for the episode. Oh, one more thing, Pauly. This I was actually meaning to ask you about this.
Yeah.
Have you
Right
been
away.
watching? Have you been watching the Penguin?
So I just started it last night.
Man, let me tell you, it is. I think I did. I think the 8th episode just came out last night, um, but which is the last one of the season. So, but I watched the 7 of them in like a day and a half.
Yeah,
So
it's legit. Yeah. So actually, so obviously I'm a comic book nerd. So I was watching something, and I was like, oh, I heard this like Penguin show is pretty good. I was like, what is it? I'm like, well, it's like the bad guy from the Batman that like she watched that one. I'm like, but apparently it's like, really good. It's like about them like taking the under. It's more like a mafia show. It's not like a superhero show. She said, okay, so we watched last night. She actually really liked it. So today she's
yeah,
like, hey, are we gonna finish the Penguin today? I'm like, yeah, maybe if you play your cards right.
yeah, yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
if you get the dishes done, fold down the laundry, we can watch the Penguin. Okay, make sure the kids are down, then we can watch the Penguin. You know how it goes.
If I can go play Augusta next summer for a week,
Yeah.
then we can watch the Penguin, dear.
Yeah,
Oh man.
I gotta
Well,
play 18, make sure dinner's cooked and the kids are asleep, and then we can watch the Penguin. All right.
would you shut that baby up? I'm trying to watch the Penguin. But yeah, I think that pretty much does it for this week. We're going to try to keep these coming as much as we can. Life can get in the way sometimes. The boys are busy with lacrosse picking back up and having a little bit of different schedules, but we're going to do our best to bring you some behind the scenes look at some of the league's best players. So we appreciate you listening as always. Appreciate Cottage Springs, and we'll chat with you next week.
See ya.